Hello, Maxi ji. How are you?
Good one.
Okay. So today is the topic of the prayers. Okay. I'm going to cover the concept of the prayer today as well as the cleansing technique. Neti, Kapalabhati. Okay. So first, I'm going to take the cleansing practices, the techniques, contraindications, benefits of Neti, Trataka, and Kapalabhati first. Okay. And after I complete the cleansing practices theory, then I will be having I will to the prayers today. Okay. The various prayers. So, हाँ, तो क्लिनजिंग टेक्निक आप सभी में से क्लिनजिंग टेक्निक के बारे में या क्लिनजिंग प्रैक्टिसेस के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहते हैं? What is the benefit of having the cleansing practices in the Hatha Yoga? अच्छा, various cleansing practice, any cleansing practices that you can say about the benefits of the cleansing practices?
Is it to detox?
हाँ, yes. So the cleansing practices helps in the detoxification or removing all the toxins from the body. Also, sometimes what happens that people, एक minute, my network bandwidth is saying low. I am audible now? Acha,
Yes, ma'am.
you're able to hear. हाँ. So cleansing practice is helps for the detoxification of the body. And when the detoxification happens, it helps you to have a clear mind and have a clarity of your mind. So sometimes what happens, we think that we are sweating and we are doing the warm ups, we are able to pay a lot of attention to our asanas and a lot of work that we are lot of awareness that we are giving to our body and as well as for the mind to stabilize with the help of the asanas, but it is required to have certain cleansing practices as well, apart from having all of the things that we consider with the asanas or the pranayams. Okay, so cleansing practices can be, you can have those cleansing practices quite often. It can be having quite often with the help of a practitioner who is expert in that. Okay, so people, basically these are the Shatkarma practitioners who help in taking people towards a better cleansing practices. Okay, so that when it is being done in a under a particular supervisor or the person who is under a particular supervision of a practitioner, when it is being done with the guided practices, then it will be done proper and it will provide you relief and the relaxation. Relaxation, how? Relaxation by means that you will find yourself to a lighter side. You will find yourself that you have kind of the things when you remove all the waste. So sometimes your own processes, the own way, the systematic way of having the process of cleansing with the help of the nose, with the help of the sweat, the skin itself sweat and removes the waste. The nose itself creates the mucus and is able to have those polluted air completely deposited in the having it accumulated in the mucus, and that's why all the air is getting the polluted air is becoming accumulated so that we are able to have the oxygen that is required. So it is removing that mucus is removing the toxins to enter your body. Similarly, it has its own way when you are digestion, you are having a digestion. So similarly, by the way of excretion as well, all the wastes are removed. So body has its own way to actually remove the waste. Okay, the waste removal is very essential. If the waste removal is not happening proper, that means the body will accumulate the toxins. Similarly, the mind has its own way to have to create those thoughts, to create those emotions. We are being, we are made in such a way, we are uh, like the human body, the human mind is in such a way, it is structured or it is its own, uh, like it is being in its own way that it will have its own processes to do, and with everything, with every sort of living, with any particular, from the day till the end, from the beginning of the day till the end of the day, we are actually creating and producing so many things. The thoughts, okay, the thing that we are having, the food we are having, definitely the unwanted things has to be eliminated. So the body and the mind is created in such a way that our thoughts needs to be kind of altered. So thoughts needs to be changed. The thoughts needs to be again uh, taken, having a stabilized mind. For the stabilized mind, again the cleansing of the thoughts and the cleansing of the body is required to have that stability, and that is what Hatha Yoga says. Hatha Yoga talks about having the stability of your mind, having the stability of the body. That is important. So we are bringing ourselves on the mat and do the asanas. With that, if we are doing the asanas on the mat, we are doing the pranayams as well. It will definitely help us to check our own self that we are being correctly able to balance our body or not. We're able to understand that whether we are able to understand our breath work, and with the movement that we are making, are we able to stabilize ourselves or not? So the asanas and the pranayams are going to help us to regulate ourselves so that our circulatory movement is also bettered. And the blood, the way the blood is also having its own way to circulate in our different organs, okay, like our ligaments also, that becomes also bettered with the help of the asanas. The better way of doing the asanas of a particular reaching to a particular organ and having its effect on a particular organ is also very important. That is how we do the asana, that is the importance of the asanas, and that is how the importance of the pranayama is, right? But again, more often people who require to get their the cleansing processes to be done properly, so that it is also required, so that you are able to have your correctness in yourself, that I am able to uh, you know do the detoxification, which is not, which is even left out, even some 0% if you think that some sort of waste removal is still required, which is not happening by its own. So that is way, especially what happens in the intestines, in the various walls of the intestines. There is so much of accumulation that happens. We are having such kind of a food these days. We do not know what happens to our intestines, that it sticks to the wall of the intestines. And we think that we are doing some twists and turns in the asanas, and we feel like that we have done a lot of good work, and that is how it feels better. We feel better in a better way. But to have a good effect, again, uh, the asanas you will be doing, you require that consistency. You will require to come to the mat with the discipline and willingness. The asanas and the mat and the pranayams that you do, the practices that you do, that requires only your willingness and your determination and your discipline. But to have that cleansing techniques to do, that requires, that is the requirement, that requires only that you are making an effort, that you are able to have a good efficiency that you give to your body, that you give to your mind. And that sometimes require a kind of a way that having an ability to think from a different perspective. Sometimes we do not find a good practitioner. Sometimes there are the Shatkarma practitioners who are not really good, and they are not having a proper way to do the Shatkarma Kriya to the give to the client. And sometimes it is like that it has been the client who are coming there for their own self, for their own cleansing practices. They have some kind of thing in their mind that it is not good to get the cleansing practices to be done. So these are some kind of the things that we feel that it's not okay. People really think that it is not okay to get the cleansing practices done, and it's okay to have its own systematized way to have some medicines, to get the medicines and get the things done, and it will be flushing it out. So having medicines and flushing it out, if you'll have once, then you will be more and more getting habitual of having the medicines. So it will have an effect in the long run. The medicines will have an effect in the long run. So we do not require to have the medicines more often. It is not like even if you think that some herbal medicines will be there, or some kind of better medicines we'll find, or some kind of you'll go to homeopathic or anything. So medicines are ultimately medicines, and it will require time. But it is like if you have your own way, that medicines are okay to take for some or the other thing, which is like maybe for the cold and cough, it is okay. But it's better to keep ourselves so immune in such a way that we are not having easily, we are not being attacked by any of the things which is there in the air, or probably with the help of whatever food that we are intaking. It is like better, and we are able to digest it better, and the cleansing practice is also taken properly, and timely cleansing practices to be taken. So similarly, with the help of anything that we do, we will able to find that our own efforts might go waste. So why to take those efforts going waste? We have to take the efforts where we are able to enhance our own life, and we are able to do some kind of the cleansing practices under a practitioner, under a good practitioner or a shatka karma practitioner who is taking that cleansing practices to us. Now what happens, the body and the mind has its own way to create and to react to any particular emotions. So we are being having some distressed way, we are having a so much stressful lifestyle because we all have to earn a living. To earn a living, we are getting so much of stress from the stressful life, from the work. It gives the stress as well, right? It happens. So some sort of the emotions, that your work life balance gets distracted, it gets hampered, it gets completely sometimes the things are so unavoidable that you are able to find that your stress is over being overloaded on your willingness or on your determination. Whatever you do, sometimes the stress will more often come. So, what to do in the stressful life to get away, get rid of those emotions and get rid of those thoughts which are unwanted? So, anything which is coming and it is very, very obvious that it comes to the body and it comes to the mind. So, to have a healthy body, that is really important. To have a healthy mind, that is important. So, having a healthy body and a healthy mind is the main aim and the purpose of the Hatha Yoga. Okay, so Hatha Yoga, that's why the Hatha Yoga, with the help of the asanas, pranayams, it also talks about the cleansing techniques. So it is very important to have your emotional side stronger. So that is why it has given your Kapalabhati Kriya. Kapalabhati Kriya is very, very effective and increases the efficiency of the mind. When the mind will be stabilized, your emotions will be also stabilized. You're not having a very distracted way of living. You will be having a good and proper attention to the things. Okay, it not only gives you a better way of respiration, it not only gives you a lighter way of having your lighter way of thinking or the thoughts. Why? Because Kapalabhati is itself is made from the word, it is one of the Shatkarma practices and made from the word Kapala and Bhati. Kapala means the cranium, which is your kapal, this head, and Bhati is the light. So it is also called as the skull shining technique. When you're doing the Kapalabhati Kriya, it is increasing your efficiency of the brain so that your entire cranium and all the nerves connected to that, the cranial nerves are there, which is connected to the spine, and from the head it is going and it is reaching to the spine, to the towards the this side. So all the network of that cranial nerves are also getting a proper way, that it is improving its functioning. The more often the Kapalabhati Kriya is done in a proper way, and also it is it is taken as a process where the exhalation is more, where you are exhaling with the help of the exhalation, removing all the toxins which is there in the head, and at that time it is like you're just removing the emotions in that Kapalabhati Kriya. So exhalation is more faster, and it is like you are not giving it is not like that you are having that slower process, that you are exhaling like in a bit by bit. It's not like that. So the exhalation is having smoother in a proper way in one go and fast, and inhalation is very slower. So it is an active inhalation and active exhalation and passive inhalation, right? So you're taking it very slowly, inhaling in such a way that it is not felt like that you are giving more importance to the inhalation. It is more of the exhalation, and the importance is given to more an exhalation, and that exhalation is happening without efforts. Inhalation is also happening without efforts. Exhalation, you are giving more and more focus on what is there in the mind and what is happening at the mental capacity. And in that, you are, when you give your exhalation a very proper way, that you are consciously exhaling, at that time that process and that emphasis on the exhalation will help you have a clear thoughts and to have a balanced bent of mind. Okay, now what happens when you do a normal respiration? Normal respiration is giving the emphasis on inhaling and exhaling. Active inhalation, passive exhalation. So you more inhale deeply and deeply, okay? And then when you exhale, it is like it happens that the exhalation is done normally. It's just like that. But even in the deep breathing, then when we talk about the deep breathing as well, again we have an active inhalation and active exhalation as well. Okay, but in Kapalabhati, it's completely reversed and giving more and more importance to the exhalation and less of the importance to the inhalation. Okay, so the more you do the exhalation, the more are the carbon particles completely gets, it's removed from your respiratory tract, and it is purifying your respiratory tract, and it is clearing anything, because you are taking that exhalation from the nose and not from the mouth. You're not keeping your mouth open. You have mouth should be like this only, and then you inhale from the nostrils and exhale from the nostrils itself. So you're increasing the capacity of your taking the air from the nose itself, and that capacity gets increased, and similarly it is purifying your nostrils, and all the mucus, accumulated mucus, gets removed. So it is being having a clear nostrils and having all the carbon particles removed from the respiratory tract. So all of these are voluntarily, it is the actions which are involuntarily happening. So respiration is happening involuntarily. But what we can do, we can have the better way of the respiration to happen despite whatever may be the surroundings, to have an understanding of what is the physiology of our respiration that is taking place. So always when you have that respiration, that kind of the respiration is given and is being supplied to the brain. That respiration is also being supplied to the body. For that to take place, even if you think that a respiration rate is just like 14 times a minute that is being taken. So it is like 14 times that you are inhaling and exhaling normal way, like normal respiration, okay, where you are inhaling and exhaling actively. Okay. Now in the Kapalabhati, the exhalation is happening in a not it is like that you are giving it bit by bit, but it is like a smoother way of having an exhalation, a proper way. One step or the other step. Exhaling. Okay. Inhaling with a very slower one that you do not even understand that inhalation has happened. It is only that you understand that the exhalation is more extended and it is more often taken. Okay. Now, further, if you see that if you make this vertical Kapalabhati really faster, you're doing what do we call it? It is called as the strokes. How many strokes a minute you are doing? How many strokes you are giving so that you are expanding your lung capacity to the fullest. So it is having an increased effect. Okay. Now, brain gets a certain kind of a good, it gets a good functioning. So as if you're getting a good brain uh, the blood supply that is being got on the brain, it gives a relieved or the relaxation to the brain. And how it is being relaxed by by having the clarity with the help of that internal happening to the brain. That is the blood supply given. So that is how it will improve and have the more clarity or the function of the brain. Now, if we talk about the circulatory system, in that way when the blood is completely supplied to the brain and to even that the oxygenated blood is being provided to the lungs as well, right? So that way the diaphragm is also being expanded, the abdominal muscles, because it is giving a stroke and then exhalation is happening in such a way that it affects your diaphragm as well, it affects your abdominal muscles as well. So that is how, even if you think that there is the abdominal breathing, okay, or the diaphragmatic breathing, it gives the relaxation to that extent that your diaphragm is itself, you do not need to do very very separately that the diaphragmatic breathing is happening differently and the abdominal breathing is happening differently. It is just like it is giving the relaxation to the diaphragm and the abdominal muscles where the contraction and the relaxation is happening properly and it gets affected as well. It is affecting in a better way. So that is how you'll get a little push towards, you'll get a little push towards your abdomen, okay, so that the abdominal muscles are having some kind of it gets during the time the exhalation is happening, so it is being that you get some sort of a kind of a push to the abdomen and to the heart as well, because it is giving a kind of a way because you are continuously and fastly doing it, which is not normally done. So that is why it is increasing to increase that efficiency. There is a little way that it gives a kind of uncomfortableness at once, but then thereafter it is having an effect to improve the circulation. But people who must be having a high blood pressure, of course, they should not come back because again, it is a faster way, and that is why it is having the benefit for people who are able to like right now if you are not having any kind of the issues like the high bp, okay, but then also people who might have any problem with the digestion, they can do it. Okay, so that it will improve the digestion. People who have some kind of at once, if the liver is not up to that way, that it is, the liver is not very very bad, so if that time Kapalabhati Kriya is done, so it improves the functioning of the liver as well. It improves the functioning of the pancreas, so that the insulin level gets also bettered. It also increases the strength of your abdominal muscles and the diaphragm as well. So in that way, it helps a lot. And these cleansing techniques have to be very necessarily practiced only and only under the guidance of a particular Shatkarma practitioner who has taken the Shatkarma Kriya, like the Kapalabhati Kriya, uh, to a particular person and has given the results. Okay, that is very, very important. Next, if I talk about the Neti Kriya, which is the nasal cleansing. So Kapalabhati even helps for the nose as well. It is good for your the region of the heart, the lungs, okay, the and also the diaphragm, and also helping to the abdomen as well. Okay. Similarly, if I talk about the neti or the nasal cleansing, so the neti is the three types of neti we have. We can have anything. We can have an earthen pot, okay, or some sort of a like you can have a copper pot. Earthen pot is more better, or maybe just a particular pot where you are able to have that particular lukewarm water when you are able to hold that neti pot. It should not be like the water is flowing or you are not able to hold that pot, so it's good to have a copper pot. That is okay. So any lukewarm water with the help of some sort of salt in it, and you put from one nostril, having a little bent towards one side in such a way that you're bending your head and you're putting your pot there is a gel in it, and you are able to have it from one nostril, and so that it is passing, it is able to, the one nostril is able to absorb it and able to take it out from the other nostril, so that all the toxins are being removed. Okay, so again, how you are in what way you are being standing, it depends upon how you are being standing and how you're able to have that particular neti pot with you, so that in such a way you're adjusting the head, you're at the angle of your head, you're adjusting your legs, having it apart and able to bend a little, and then you have to have that particular neti pot to enter into your nose, and making sure that it is not entering your throat, so that when it enters your throat it may choke up your this side, your tract might be it gets choked up, so it's better to have it from the nose itself. So what happens if you do it, either you can have it from the way of Janneti, it is also from the Dugdhneti, it is also happening, you can also do this Kriya with the help of a Pihi as well. So basically, it is good to have it from the jal itself, to have a lukewarm water, and then if it is being done often, so that is good to clear your nasal passages. Any sort of excess mucus gets removed. Any sort of the pollutants there at the nasal passages, that gets removed, and all the obstructions from the nostrils, that gets completely reduced and helps to clear the way that your air is able to get through the nostrils properly. So it also helps to improve the secretion and the functioning of the nose. The nose is creating its own, it is secreting its own mucus. So as the way that when the airflow is properly happening, the air is able to be inhaled, and of course we need a good and not the pollutant air, of course. So the air should not be really polluting air, the air should be really fresh, so that that mucus should not be more which is blocking the nose. The air should be in such a way, the functioning of the nose should be in such a way that the air should flow properly. Okay, somebody has unmuted, any question?
Yes, ma'am. You told us that there are three types of neti. So one is jal neti, other is second is dugdha neti. I did not understand which is the third type. I
That
think your
is
voice
the
broke at that time.
Okay, okay. That is from the ghee, taken from the ghee. The
Okay, got it.
ingredient is the ghee.
Okay.
Okay. So, uh, coming back to the topic. So, it is like having any person who has any sort of the symptoms of, the cough or the cold, any kind of the tonsils that one person get. So people who get very easily tonsils, you eat anything and you get the tonsils. People might even, it is not from the eating, but generally you get the tonsils. So by that, if you're able to have that kind of thing to get rid of, it is good to have the Jalneti Kriya. Okay. Even what happens, what do we do when we put something at in one ear and then bend our head and able to find that you are able to get it cleared from the other ear as well, so that your ear passages will also be bettered. So of course we cannot have anything in our ear just like a milk or the dudh. It's better to have the jal. So similarly, the lukewarm water can be also taken at your in your ears to have a good functioning of your ear. Similarly, just like you do the gargling thing. What is that gargling thing? Or you provide, even if it's not gargling, but simply you take lukewarm water daily, which is more which is like a proper temperature and not like very hot water. It's not too much that you are not able to have it or sip it. A very general, a good temperature of the lukewarm water. You can just have it and give a kind of a massage to the throat. It gives a massage to the throat as well in such a way. So similarly, Jal Neti is done for the basically the nasal cleaning, and that is the way that what is being taken in and how it is being taken, and what is the what is the particular like the how it is to be taken with the help of the or with the help of the Jal Neti pot. Ears, you can have it by this thing that having it with the help of the lukewarm water and then having it taken from the other ear. There is also with the help of, you'll find that the even the eyes cleansing are taken with the help of the cups. So there are various cups available, and then you that is called the Neti cup. Okay, so that is for the cleansing of the eyes as well. So you put some water in that cup and then put it here, and then you just bend your head back and take that Neti cup towards the backside and open your eyes in such a way that the jala is completely given to the eyes. It is being provided. It is being that you open your eyes and it is being cleansed with the help of that water. So not necessarily you are going to take the lukewarm water in that, but only the jal neti, which is with the lukewarm water and the salt, is taken only for the nose. For the ears as well, you can have the jal, the lukewarm water, but not necessarily you are going to take the salt, or not necessary to have that. Similarly, with the help of the eyes, you can have just a cold water or just a normal water and have it in the cups, which is for the eye cups, which is called. And then you have it on your eyes to cleanse the eyes as well. So these are some kind of the practices that can be taken, which works and gives and relaxes your eye muscles will be relaxed, your nasal passages and connected muscles to the brain will be relaxed. Your ear will be relaxed. Your throat will get a massage. And everything, it is again working. It is again giving a relief to your nervous system. It is giving the relaxation to the nervous system. And hence gives an improvement in your better way of clarity, so that it includes a better way to reduce the anxiety. It reduces the conditions which affect the mind. Okay, having that recurring depression, having that recurring anxiety, having the regular, if you do it more often, and then the practice is being taken more often, which is again having all of these things, have that particular thought with you and you do it by your own after having the guidance from a practitioner. Then it is good to have your way that you understand that if your body is telling you something, that there is a lot of blockages which is coming to the nose. If you think that is not, you're not feeling yourself, like you have a little bit of fever, or there is so much of cold or cough. Apart from that, again, When you get cleared with your cold, cough, or fever, after that you can do this kriya. So that you think that you get to know that how it is being done. So after some time, when you understand that how your body is responding and what is happening, and you understand that, that can be done by your own self after understanding it from a particular practitioner. So to have that, all of these things, that clearing, that you are giving yourself this particular way of kriya or the cleansing practices, this will give you a very good appearance to you and have a youthful you. You'll find yourself really fresher. You'll find that freshness on your face itself. You'll find how you can, you'll be able to find that you are able to maintain your face very clearly. And you would think that, you get a better clarity and you get a better way and a lighter way. You get towards the lighter side, and nothing like you get heavier, something heavier, despite you can have anything. Like, of course, you're taking care of yourself, you're giving yourself in such a way that you include this regime within your routine. Okay. And also maintaining what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, what you drink, how you drink, and when you drink as well. So everything gets balanced. You're giving proper things to eat and give to your body, and you give the proper of these kriya or the practices for your body and your mind as well. So another important thing to be taken care of is that if you have any sort of the nasal bleeding, the people who are having nasal bleeding, they should not do the neti kriya. Any kind of the burning sensation, any sort of the irritation, that practices should not be done. Even at the time you feel that there is some people who have the sensitive nose or problem of the sinuses, they should not do this kriya. And similarly, any sort of cold, cough, if you are having, do not try during the time you are having your cold. Just to have that, so that you are not able to get your nasal passages blocked uh, later. So you can have it after you are getting clear with you're giving your entire time to get rid of your cold and cough. After that you can have it. Okay. What is being done during the time you are having your cough and cold? You just inhale, kind of, you're just taking some inhalation of the hot water, and you take some kind of the vapors, those evaporated water that you are taking, that is taken, so that you are able to find that those passages are getting opened. So some sort of this thing can be done, but again, just disturbing your nasal passages during the cold and cough should not be done. Okay. Having seen that, if you see that a little pure ghee or some sort of the olive oil can be also taken any nostril, even if you are practicing it before, if you are taking the journey, that can also be worked. Even if you're having any time, people who have to have any sort of insomnia issues as well, what they can do, they put a little ghee or some kind of the olive oil that can be taken, simply ghee, a very pure ghee can be taken and put to the nostril, so that any kind of the issues related to the sleep can be also bettered. So those can be also get rid of with the help of it. So it's good to have, so that it provides a kind of a greasing, that gives a kind of the lubrication, or it gives a kind of a way which helps our functioning better. So some kind of the pure ghee can be also provided, and some sort of the olive oil can also be put to your nose, so that any sort of insomnia issues can also be get rid of. So people who's having any sort of the problem related to the nose should not do the jal niti kriya. Okay, that should not be done. And any sort of the things that they have to get cleared with the help of, any sort of the problem with the nose or something like that, that can be just seen, just like, that can be just asked or advised from a practitioner, or of course, like any recurring issues which is coming, maybe the people who have already some kind of the nasal problems, and then they are having a recurring cold and cough, then in that way it can be, of course, having an advice from the doctor, that can be also taken. So again, having some cleansing techniques, the doctor advises by their own way that how the even if the person requires the cleansing practices or they can do it or not. So similarly, that can be practiced according to what the advice of the doctor is, and similarly how it can be practiced and in what particular condition of a nose, whether it can be practiced or not. So again, if that has been advised, so a Shatkarma practitioner or the particular Neti practitioner can help you or can take you towards that cleansing practices of your nasal passages. Okay. Now, the third Kriya is the Trataka Kriya, which is also called the eye gazing or the eye cleansing, right? I think Nilesh ji, this was your one of the thing about Trataka. Nilesh ji, are you there? Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Ha, all right. So having the eye cleansing, what do you do with the eye cleansing? Just as I told you about the Neti Kriya, which can be done like that with the help of this. Similarly, if you talk about the Trata Kriya, it is just like when you look intently, of course, you are able to gaze at one particular point. If you gaze at one particular thing, any particular thing which is not able to distract you, that can be simply that you dim the light. If you're not having anything, you just, you're not having any lights in and around surrounding, but but only one particular object which is light, which is illuminated, that can be seen, and you're able to see and able to focus that ways. If you have so many objects in and around, and that way if you try to have anything to focus on, you might get distracted and you think that the Trataka practice can be really boring. So to have understood that what is the benefit of the Trataka, that is important to shed the tears. It is very important. So shedding the tears is like, it is not the emotional side that you are shedding the tears. It is just like that your tears are coming because you're of your tiredness at the eyes. So eyes are also getting polluted a lot. Eyes are exposed to so many things, the pollution around and what we are being exposed to various screens all and all throughout the day. Having the screen of our phone, the having the screen of the laptops, the having the screen of the TV, the having everything around us. We are not giving any time to give rest to the eyes as well. So having that shedding of the tears is really important, which is the way that it is removing all the and clearing all the toxins from the eyes. That is the Trataka, and that is the thing which is the purpose of having the Trataka, to shed the tears and to let the toxins getting cleared from the eyes. Now, those Trataka can be either Antaranga Trataka or Bahiranga Trataka, which is one if you focus on one particular point or one particular object, which is a illuminating or a lighting object, which can be a diya. Suppose if you are having the diya which is taking your angle of the eye downside, it should not be like that. It should be like having a particular thing in front of you so that you're able to have it just at your forehead. Okay, so you're able to see that and gaze at a particular thing without closing the eyes. Now, whatever the time you can give yourself without having your eyes closed and continuously look at the objects for a longer time, it is important to do that Bahiranga Tratak. So, with the Bahiranga Tratak, you are completely taking your eyes to the fullest capacity to open itself and able to focus on that particular object. And when you do that for a longer time without closing your eyes, the tears will shed. Okay. And it is just like that after you shed your tears, you give some time to even to your eyes to close and just relax for some time. So again, you look at the object and continuously see, and again the tears will be shedded. Again, it will give a kind of an impressions to the mind, which is later and gradually, one by one, it will be having some kind of an effect that it will have an effect of clearing yourself and getting yourself bettered, and your thoughts get settled as well. So in that way, the practice of Trataka is to be taken when you sit in a dark room, okay, and in a meditative pose, having the meditative asana, and then place anything. You can have a candle and taken on a stand in a such a height which is about having a distance of 2 to 3 feet from you, and thereby it is important to have that candle which is not flickering. You can have a diya. It's good to have a diya as well, and it remains still without, without having any sort of this thing, without you also being not making the movement. So when you sit in a meditative pose and try to see, it is just like that you're not actually thinking of that having the meditation done, but this is a Trataka Kriya where you are having the eye gazing so that you are not able to make the movement. Your body should be relaxed and it should not be really uncomfortable. You should not feel uncomfortable that you are able to have the movement quite often. So at that level, if you are having the distance of 2 to 3 feet and just gaze at the particular light, like the diya, and having at a particular height where it is like, it is just equivalent to this much height, whatever is your height of your in front of you towards the face. So you keep your eyes open and gaze at it for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, till the time it starts completely watering. So it is just taking your all the tears out, and any kind of the thoughts can be coming from the mind that will be completely reduced. Okay, Trataka will be improving the function of the eyes. Trataka helps to improve the functions of your eyes. It gives the relief to the eyes. Any kind of the strain that we get continuously, any kind of this, because of the strain, people have the problem that they can get a headache. They can have any kind of the early stages. At that time they are not able to see, they see very, they are not able to see properly. They feel like that, the kind of uh, the thing that they are able to have that blurry images, or sometimes it is just like that they have a kind of a vision which is not cleared. So that time when it is having like in that way, so the eyes has to be brighter to have the, not have the strain, to not have a headache, because headache will be reduced with the help of reducing all the effects that is giving to the mind, the Trataka practice is giving to the mind. Similarly, any sort of insomnia issues will also be bettered, because once you focus on what is necessary after doing the Trataka practice, everything which is unnecessary will be all accumulated and your thoughts will be settled, and you have not the problem of the insomnia also. And when you're able to sleep better and have a sound sleep, so in that way you will be having an increased memory and increased concentration. So when you have a better memory and the concentration, you'll find that your own functioning gets bettered. When your brain gets stabilized, you will be also having the proper way or the functioning of your own way to harmonize your body and your mind. So having a particular gazing in the Trataka always restricts your mind. It giving the restriction to the mind by its own way, that how you are able to create that environment for you, for having the conducive environment, and to have the sense of your, this is your eye is the one of the senses. So you are having that eyes as an unchanging, you are not changing it frequently, it is a gazing which is happening, and you're able to restrict your eyes and will be able to restrict your mind. So the mind will get absorbed completely and it withdraws from all the things which is the external surroundings, because you have created that surrounding or the made a kind of a surrounding in such a way, because you're going to practice a Trataka Kriya, Trataka practice or the eye gazing practice in a very proper and a very sincere way. So it is even enhancing the capacity of the mind in such a way that it is giving a sort of a, a very cleared energy to your mind. Cleared means a pure energy to the mind. Pure in the sense that you are not having anything which is unnecessary, and you have any sort of thing. You have the focus all in all by yourself, and all the kind of the the dormant areas, or it's like the areas of your mind which is kind of it becomes dead. Some sort of the things that you feels like it feels like your brain cells are not working properly, it is getting channelized in such a way that it gives a good energy to your mind and become less of the number of thoughts, and gives your mind a calmer and a better way of thinking. So having the Trataka practice as well, it should be practiced under again a particular practitioner who is good in taking your Trataka Kriya with the proper instructions. Because again, it depends upon the person also. Might be they get some dizziness because it gives a headache to some of the people. Because sometimes people are releasing their emotions. That is becoming their antaranga trata. So it comes to the emotional level. When you are able to have that eye gazing continuously, and you are able to close your eyes and are able to have that images of your object, anything that you see, you're able to internalize it. Now, what you internalize, sometimes people who see the object, Bahiranga Tratak happens properly, but in the Antaranga Tratak, sometimes it is what happening. It is happening that you are able to have those thoughts and the emotions in your mind which is going, and the thoughts are not settled. So to have that Antaranga Tratak proper, you need to give a proper way of getting rid of the things or the thoughts. That is how it is being connected to the breath. So now, if you're taking that prana energy and how you are connecting it with your breath, so that again you are not taking your unnecessary thoughts, having wondering it all throughout the mind, it should be avoided, so that again with the help of the breathing you are able to focus on your breathing again. Look at something again. What happens in the antaranga tratak, people are given some sort of the prayers which they believe in. So the prayers are being recited while taking the antaranga tratak, because the emotions could be fear, emotions could be anything. It could be greed, it could be hate, it could be guilt. Any sort of the emotions can come and you cannot stop it, because again when you sit, those thoughts can occur. But getting it done from one side and to have it reduced, that is the purpose of having the Trataka practice, and not getting so many emotions accumulated. So Trataka practice is not giving any way where it is for the benefit, it is not for collecting those things and reminding or recalling all those things which is unnecessary. So having the Taranga Tratak once, again it should be again very very much clear that it should be done under with the help of a particular practitioner who is able to help you and is able to take you through with the help of doing the Trata Kriya. Once if you do it by yourself, again that cannot be done properly, which is the purpose that has to be achieved. It will not be achieved, and it will have some kind of the way where the emotions get uncontrolled and your mind gets uncontrolled, and the Hatha Yoga purposes will not be solved, which is talking about the control of the mind and the control of the body, and to harmonize it all the way, both of it together. So that is how even the Trataka Kriya is equally important and to be done by the particular and under the supervision of a person. Once it is being done and once you practice it and once you see it, you can just sit for 5 to 10 minutes yet again early in the morning. Okay, that can be taken early in the morning as well, whenever it is being okay and comfortable, whenever when the person is not able to get any kind of a disturbance. And it can be practiced all together as well, that can also be practiced all together. Okay, so having all of these cleansing techniques requires to have that regularity with what is the thing that your mind and your body needs as a practice, so that the health problems can be reduced and it can be properly treated well. It can be the things which required to be get rid of as a health problem, that should be completely uh, solved. So that is important, right? So all of these cleansing practices has to be taken as a, it's not like something that one has to be fearful. It is just like which is the removal of the thoughts, just because as if anything which you think anything you cannot eat. Similarly, the thoughts, all the thoughts cannot be taken, or that cannot be fueled up. Similarly, anything which is not required and taken by your body, that should not be taken. So similarly, I can just relate it with your eating itself. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Up till now, any questions?
No, ma'am.
मैम
हाँ.
मैम मैम कपालभाति के बारे में आपने कहा था ना कि जब हम कपालभाति करते हैं तो बोथ नॉस्ट्रिल्स के साथ करते हैं, लेकिन
हम्म.
उसका सेकेंड वन इज ए विथ अल्टरनेट नॉस्ट्रिल्स
हम्म. So alternate
मीन्स
nostrils
हाँ
में people who must be having any sort of the blockage in their noses. So in the way to have the opened way, to have the proper way that one of the nostril, if one nostril is working properly and the other not is blocked. So in that way, to get the balance of both the nasal passages, you can do that anulom vilom or the alternate nostril breathing. That can be done. So that is the way where you are able to understand that how you are able to have the nostril alternate nostril, so that that balance will be proper there. So it is equivalent that your both the elements, you are trying to balance your elements and not creating any kind of the element which gets increased. So alternate nostril breathing is also a very good way of practicing.
मेरे पास नेति पॉट है मैम।
अच्छा.
हाँ, तो मैं हफ्ते में एक बार करती हूँ। मुझे साइनस का प्रॉब्लम था, तो उससे बहुत मुझे इम्प्रूवमेंट है उसमें। हेडेक होता था साइनस की वजह से।
Okay. Okay. That's good. And how long have been you practicing your with the
Since
jal?
6 months.
3 months,
6,
6 months.
yes.
Okay. And what are the effects that you have got with the help of this?
I feel relaxed from sinus headache.
Ha. And is it a ceramic pot? Is it a ceramic?
Jal neti.
Nah, the pot is ceramic, or is it a plastic
No,
one?
no. Plastic.
Okay. Avoid having the plastic jalneti pot if you can have. It's good to have any sort of a ceramic pot, that is okay. And it's good even if you have a copper pot, which is a lighter one, it is not heavier one. So avoid having plastic. Okay,
Okay.
I will suggest that. Bhuma ji has just a minute.
मैम
हाँ जी. Yes.
मैम क्लास के बाद मैं आपसे कॉल में बात कर सकती हूँ क्या?
प्रभा जी, दैट इज अगर आपका कोई रिकॉर्डिंग से रिलेटेड आपका वो है, क्वेरी है, या किसी के कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं कि आपको, जैसे अभी बुमा जी ने भी लिखा है ना कि थ्योरी का कहीं पीपल नीड टू हैव सम नोट्स और एनीथिंग, फॉर दैट यू कैन जस्ट मैसेज मी. दैट इज ओके. इफ देयर इज एनी अदर थिंग विच इज रिक्वायर्ड, you can also okay, you can also like if there is any other thing, you can also reach it out to me. Okay, you can message. I will try to solve it. Okay.
मैम मैंने आपका क्वेश्चन पूछा था लास्ट वीक। अपने 7 PM वाले 2 बैचेस नहीं हुए थे, तो उसमें से एक का जो था वो 7 AM प्लस 7 PM दोनों का नहीं था, बट एक में 7 AM का बैच हुआ था सुबह का, बट 7 PM का नहीं हुआ था। तो डू वी हैव टू गो थ्रू द रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ 7 AM बैच, या फिर आपने वो कवर किया है ऑलरेडी क्लासेस में?
अभी क्या है कि जो मिस आउट भी हो गए हैं
हम्म।
अकॉर्डिंग टू सिलेबस, अभी तक जो अगर कुछ क्लासेस मिस अगर हुई हैं तो उसमें भी जितने भी टॉपिक्स हैं वो कवर हुए हैं.
ओके।
One was 7 p.m. It started that one of the 7 p.m. batches were not taken, and there were two particular 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. was not taken. There were three classes, right?
आई
In
थिंक
total,
2 classes of 7 PM वर नॉट कंडक्टेड. and one of 7 a.m.
The same.
Something
So
like that.
total
Yeah.
three classes were
Yes.
there.
Yes.
So all the topics which had to be covered, like in the morning as well as in the evening, I have taken it all in the continuity right
Okay.
from the beginning. So as per the topics, like the concept of yoga, the history development, that has been taken in the morning batch as well and in the evening batch as well.
Okay.
Similarly, the theory of all the practices of the diet, the food, that has been taken in the morning batch as well and in the evening as well. So now the second unit, if we have come to the second unit, this also has been taken in the morning and in the evening batch as well. Okay.
Okay.
Some
Yes.
of the
Thank you.
things which will be like any of the topic from any of the unit which needs to be covered, that will be after I will complete the entire syllabus. Okay. After that, I will take some of it so that anything which is missed out, I will check it, and anything which requires some more explanation, for that I will go through with that after completion of it, after the completion of the syllabus. All
Okay.
right. Any questions, anyone? All right. So, to close the session, let us sit back comfortably and join the palms together to the center. Gently close your eyes. Have a gentle smile on your face. Breathe in and breathe out. Once again, breathe in and breathe out. Let's begin with the Om chanting, followed the closing prayer. Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चिद् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Take your palms together. Have a smile on your face. Generate heat अच्छे से अपने हथेलियों को अब अपने चेहरे पर लगाएंगे। Give the warmth of your palms to your eyes, to your face. Gently bring the palms in front of you. Open your eyes and look at your palms with a gentle smile on your face. Namaste everyone and thank you. So just required 1 more minute to have your attendance. So just wait please. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Good
Thank you,
night.
ma'am.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye.